Okay, so we are live with Life is Strange 2. And the obvious question is, didn't we finish Life is Strange 2 yesterday? And the answer, of course, is yes, but I found out something very significant that I wanted to share with Bernie and with everyone, which is you presumably remember that when we picked the surrender ending, it seemed to end very abruptly, and we were baffled by how that could possibly even be the ending of the game. It turns out that because the way that I replayed it was in what's called the collector mode, which is designed for you to pick up collectibles, that mode is limited to like one scene at a time. So when you go to a different scene, it stops. So that's what happened to us.
I don't know why. Why would it wait? Why would it stop?
Because that's how the collector mode works. It assumes that you're only in the scene to get the collectible, and it doesn't move on to the next scene for you when you're done. It just stops.
Sorry, Rachel is here distracting me. Hold on, she wants to see. No, okay, look, it's on now. You can say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, he says hello.
She's not on camera, so she doesn't have to worry about that.
No, she just left. She just wanted to say hi, and like she distracted me, so I missed. So, no, it's collector mode. It works. What do you mean? So what does that mean?
It's designed for you to pick up collectibles. It's not designed for you to play through the game. So
sure,
it's limited to one.
But so what?
So when the game moves into a new scene, it stops. So
the game stops?
Yes.
Or the collector's mode stops?
Well, that's the same thing.
The game stops. Oh. I see. So when you started the game just for that last scene,
right?
That last time.
Right.
The whole time we were playing, we were not in collector's mode.
Right.
And then in order to replay that last scene with a different choice, you turned on the collector's mode so that you could do that.
Exactly.
Okay, so right now,
but
you're telling
then
me that
after
right
the scene at the port of entry in Mexico, it moves on to another scene, and collector mode says, "Well, I'm done here." It will not move on to the next scene for you.
That all makes sense. I understand it. Now, do you know what happens, or are we
I do know what happens, but I want you to find out. So we will do it right now.
Okay. Did you read about what happened, or did you actually watch what happened?
I actually watched what happened.
Okay. All right.
So. And all that you have to do is you can play in standard mode, but you can save it in a different slot. So, I'm not going to lose my game in case there's ever a Life is Strange 3 that I need to import, which I kind of doubt. But whatever. I will play in standard mode, put it in the new save slot. And here we go. So obviously, I think I can skip because it will recognize that I've played this before, I think. Let's see. Nope. Oh, well. I guess you can only skip when you're starting from your own save. That's annoying.
Sean, what are we gonna do?
Sean! Sean Diaz! It's over! Don't make this worse! Get out of the car! Slow! Wave your hands above your head! Do exactly what I say!
This actress can't even deliver this dialogue.
know that day in Seattle? The day Dad was shot. I think about it every day. And I would give anything to change what happened. But I can't. I'm sorry for my mistakes. I tried my best. I swear.
Sean.
I'm so proud of you, and I know, just like Dad would be. We both learned a lot together, but you can make your own rules now. If we surrender, they will separate us, Daniel. And if that happens, promise me that you will always do the right thing, okay? Don't waste your power. Be smart like you already are.
I don't want
Okay,
us
I got in touch with
separated.
my guy. Told him that they might not start at exactly 11.
Okay.
So, whatever I need to do, yeah.
Whatever happens, always remember that you're Daniel Diaz.
You know this is
I promise, Sean.
a trap. You can trust me. Please, get out of the car. Come on. There's no way out. This is our last
So,
warning. Listen up.
how does the story of the Wolf brothers end?
Step out of the car. Now.
You'll never escape this wolf story.
I know, right? Okay, here we go.
It's also the, what is that? The
I think
loading
our
screen, the
story ends right
savings
here.
icon? The two wolves running.
Here?
Right.
The bottom.
Yeah, and that's also the
But I could.
your actions will have consequences.
I get it.
I think is
not
what
who we
Life
are.
is Strange 1 said.
Exactly.
Telltale will say something like, Clementine will remember
We're just
that.
kids,
It's also the symbol that
and we still
Yeah,
have to
right.
you did something that affected a
live
character.
life we want to live. You're my brother.
Oh, I didn't know that this whole game.
Oh, yeah, I
thought
probably
it was
should have said
loading.
it.
I love you too, Sean.
But yeah, it'll show you either the big wolf is highlighted or the little wolf is highlighted or both of them are highlighted.
Oh,
For
never
real
knew that
this time?
the whole game.
I do.
But we still don't know. Yeah,
We're doing the right thing.
I'd still like more insight into how
Just-
exactly it was affected.
Try and remember what I taught you. I mean, only the good shit.
I will. I swear.
They're really clipping through each other. They could have fixed that up a little bit in the dramatic ending of their game.
On your knees! I said on your knees now!
Oh, I should be paying attention now.
I think you saw this part. He tells them to get on their
I did.
knees and they get on their stomach.
I did. Right.
I'm sorry about all this. We're gonna look after your brother. That's my word.
Like, it's silly, but seriously, the reason I thought about that is because just imagining, if I were told to get on my knees, I'd do exactly that and nothing else.
Yeah, no,
Oh yeah.
you want
He's gonna be fine.
Daniel!
when
not
law
a little
enforcement
wolf
is
anymore.
pointing a gun at you, you
Never
don't
forget
want
who
to
you are.
do what they say.
Never.
Helps if you're white. Alright, so now we're gonna move on to the next scene. The game does not in fact end right there. So that is the same as we saw
Okay.
last time. We saw that one too.
Right, that was a newspaper clipping last time.
Yeah. Right, I believe it told the story of how it was like it was actually, now you mentioned, it's interesting. It was the real story of how he stopped the bus from going
Yeah,
off the
and
side.
that was a comic book cover drawn by Sean,
Right.
and
So these, I think, are your pals from the hippie commune.
Karen. Wait, so this is drawn by Sean.
Yeah.
Draws his mom, Daniel, and
And Ethel.
grandma. Daniel's working at Starbucks.
Right.
Going to college.
Yep.
He's been in prison, so he's just been in prison the whole time.
Yeah.
And this is the girl. Is that Lila?
Yes.
Okay.
The other two people don't look 15 years older.
So the comic book cover was just he drew it in prison. I was like, how did Sean become get a job as a comic book artist?
Maybe that realization don't crack, but this is ridiculous.
Karen didn't come back in the picture with the other ending, right?
We saw Daniel on the phone with her, and then he
Oh, right.
handed the phone to the grandparents, indicating that she had, repaired her relationship with them, with her own parents as well.
Yeah, but that's. Is there more?
Yeah.
Did they give it a new time frame, or no? This is basically soon after.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't have a pupil painted on his eye.
That's not it, is it?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
So he just okay.
See, I thought, first of all, it's as happy an ending, I would say. And
I
I
I
thought,
wouldn't.
okay,
But
what's
go ahead.
your, yeah. No, I was going to move on to something else. So why don't you think it's, first of all, why don't you think it's as happy an ending?
Because
We don't need stats.
well, um, first of all, it's a little bit open ended. You don't know where Sean is going. They're parting ways here. It's implied. They're saying goodbye to each other and
I
driving different
took it,
directions.
I didn't take it as meaning that. I took it as just they got together to relive this thing, and it was kind of a bittersweet. Um, I didn't draw any conclusions about where that Sean was leaving altogether.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because it's not clear where he's staying. Because I thought when he got relief from prison, he'd stay with the family, with at least his mom, his grandparents, or Daniel, or all of the above. And then, if that were so that he was staying with them, then that would imply he's leaving because he's just driving off a different direction. But yes, I guess you're right that if it's not clear where he's staying in the first place, maybe he just has his own place or something.
Yeah, I would think so.
And
He would be
he
30 something
got
years
together
old.
with Daniel, and then it's just going back home.
Yeah, that's what I
But
assumed.
sure. I guess it's not clear. The other thing, and then when you said it was bittersweet, then they relived it. Yeah, I guess I thought that, I thought maybe prison screwed him up a bit, as it tends to do. 15 years.
Sure.
So it's like, yeah, he's reunited with his family, but he's kind of messed up now. So that much. And then like in the other ending, he Shawshanked his way out to Mexico
Yes.
and
That's
living his living his best life with Cassidy.
right.
So I feel like that's why I feel it's not like as happy an ending.
Right. Well, I guess it boils down to, do you think it's worth 15 years for everyone to ultimately be together? Or, would you rather have everyone be happy but they're in separate places?
Well, they're not together now. That's the thing you said.
Well,
They're
I'm
leaving.
working under the assumption that they are, after he's released, they are all together.
Well, I mean, it's just some cues from the footage, the proceedings. It seemed like the departing was emotional. When again, if even if Sean's staying somewhere else, you'd think that the scene of them leaving each other at the very end wouldn't be so emotional.
Right. Well, yeah. No, I think you're right that it's saying that this brings up, Sean has painful memories of this time. He wishes none of this had ever happened. He knows he lost 15 years. That's painful. I think all that is true, but I didn't draw from it the idea that he's really messed up and this is bad. But I can't say that you're wrong. It is ambiguous.
All right. Anyway, but go on.
Right. Well,
yeah.
putting aside whether it is a happy ending, I thought it was very well done. And the fact that both of, I think that despite the problems with this game, I think both of the endings that we saw delivered pretty well as endings.
Yeah, I don't feel like I need to disagree, nor do I love them.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of par for the course, I think. I mean, they weren't again. At least they gave us an ending, unlike what we thought last time. Right. Yeah, it was fun. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I just personally felt like an emotional connection that I usually didn't feel playing this game, which is funny when there's no dialogue and they're not saying anything whatsoever, and it's all it's all gestures.
Sure. Sure, it was nice.
So the two endings that we got are the endings that you get when Daniel has high morality. When you raise him to be on the good side instead of, on the light side instead of the dark side. So when you surrender, he goes along with it. And when you try to make your way across the border, he thinks to himself, well, I might have to hurt a lot of people, if not kill them, in order to do this. And anyway, we should probably or I at least should probably turn myself in, because I am not going to suffer that bad consequences. And, and the law can come down on me rather than on my brother, who would suffer much worse consequences. So that's why he jumps out of the car. So those are the two endings that we had to choose from, because we had taught Daniel in that way. But if you have more of a dark side Daniel, you can get two different endings. So my question to you is, would you like to see those endings?
You can force them?
I can go to a browser and play them.
Go to a browser and play them. Sure, but unfortunately, I don't think now is good.
Okay.
Because I think I have to attend to this stuff I'm doing. And have you seen those?
I have seen those.
Okay. Are they worth it?
I mean, it sort of depends how. They're certainly worth it for curiosity's sake. I mean, they didn't resonate as much with me because they didn't have to do with the Daniel that I had, but it's interesting to think about, if this was the culmination of your game, how a person would hypothetically feel about it.
Well, okay. I'm going to put those off, but I will say that, generally speaking, I like that in concept, that because it's all we were talking about, how the fact that they shifted control over the character, your control of the character, to the one that does not have the superpowers.
Yes.
In this game, which was an interesting choice. And so the game came to be about not how you use your superpowers, but how you molded your baby brother, who had superpowers. And the fact that the four endings are completely determined by how you shaped Daniel is in keeping with that.
Yeah.
And pretty cool.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that, and I think that it's funny how, to me, episode 3 was like so much better than everything else that was like from a different game. I think episode 3 was the episode where Daniel sort of opened up to you a little bit and is like, I feel angry right now, and that was the episode where I felt most the tension of, how do I talk to this kid? What's going on with this kid? I know I can influence him, but I don't know what to say. And otherwise in the game, I didn't feel that. So, but it is going on behind the scenes. Every decision that you make is, in fact, adding up to that final decision. So I just wish that, and in part, it's because of the decision to make Daniel a 10-year-old child who can't really talk to you on an adult level. But I wish there were more feedback along the way about where Daniel was at, so that would be even more meaningful. But like I said, it is at least keeping track of what you do, and it determines what ending you get.
Okay.
Okay, so do you think you're going to want to do that later tonight, or are we putting it off for another time altogether?
No, not later tonight.
Okay, so in that case, what I think I'm going to do is switch over to Sherlock Holmes, and we'll see what that is, see if we like it, give it a bit of a trial run.
Okay. Hopefully I can. Wait, do you want to start a new broadcast just so we can keep it separate, or?
Yeah, I guess we should do that.
All right. Go ahead and close out, and I'll close out the stream, and then I'll work with you to start the new one.
Okay, cool.
Then hopefully I won't be too distracted by what you're doing.
All right.